Welcome to the Naka Bulls Rugby Club. It is the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. We have reached the semi-finals of this big competition. Of course, a big battle lies ahead. It is the Naka Bulls. They're taking on the Sibanye Warriors as they run onto the field right now. Beautiful tunnel being formed by both supporters of these two clubs. Now having a quick look at the starting lineup for the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. Brits forming a vital part at hooker. Zbu wearing the number 4 jersey. Kota, number 6. Pretoria, number 7. Buerta, he's their captain. He'll be wearing the number 8 on his back. And of course, Standard wearing the number 9 jersey, playing at scrum half. And of course, looking at the backline players like Williams, Van der Merwe, Aswegen. He'll be a vital part of this team as they take on the Naka Bulls. Now looking at the home team on your screen right now, players that we are well familiar with, quickly starting in the back line, players like Williams, Austin, Iman, as well as Graaf. We know that Graaf is a vital component to the squad success. He'll be wearing the fly half jersey. Storm at the scrum half position. He'll be looking to combine with Graaf as well. Players like Boshoff, Potgieter, as well as Besaidenout in that forward pack, in the engine room, as we call it. Big battle lies ahead right here at the Naka Bulls Rugby Club. Welcome to Pretoria. You are joining us live on the Global Sport Network YouTube channel. We are coming to you live. Remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. This tournament brought to you proudly by Sibanye-Stillwaters. It is the Super League Cup, and we have reached the semi-final stage. Both these teams will be looking to book their spot in the final. One would say that home ground advantage counts for the Naka Bulls, but that means nothing if they don't show up this afternoon. As we see the Naka Bulls securing that ball from the kickoff. Fast running rugby is the name of the game this afternoon. Taking their time at ruck time. Running straight into contact are the Naka Bulls. Showcasing strong physicality here. The Warriors not shying down. Pushing the Bulls back. Graaf spreading that ball. Looking for a gap in this defensive line are the Bulls. Shaking off a few tackles there. Building momentum slowly but surely. Graaf using the width of the field, spreading that ball to their winger, Greer. Bulls building momentum, stringing a few passes together. However, still within their own territory. Warriors applying the pressure, high defensive line. Good thing here about the Bulls. They're holding on to that ball, even though there's pressure being applied. Warriors looking for the turnover ball. Fantastic, as we hear the supporters of the Warriors. Quick tap and run here, looking for a quick gap. Running into space, Betorius, the man with the number 7 on his back here for the Warriors. Using their big men. Willifeer looking to use muscle power to break a gap through this defensive line by the Bulls. Warriors putting men behind that ball. Looking for the gap here are the Warriors. Yet again, Pretorius gaining a few meters, shaking off a few tackles there. Knock on there. Referee taking full control of this game. Knock on there by the Sibanye-Stillwaters Warriors. Looking at the first few minutes in this game. 2 minutes on the clock so far. Sibanye-Stillwaters Warriors in full control. They've had most of the territory so far in the first 2 minutes of the game. Doesn't count for much when you consider the fact that there's still 77 minutes on the clock. However, we are expecting a big scrum here by both these outfits. Of course, looking at players like Besaidenote, the tight head prop here. For the Bulls, he'll be looking to make his mark on this game. Naka Bull scrum, quick feed here. By Storm, they scrum half. Big scrum here. Also gaining advantage are the Naka Bulls. Quick goose step here, running into space. Looking for the pass. What an absolutely beautiful combination between Graaf as well as their skipper, Potgieter. Warriors under massive pressure. Big hit. Matters not. Naka Bulls still with ball in hand. 3 minutes on the clock. This encounter, the semi-final, brought to you proudly by the Global Sports Network. We're coming to you live on our YouTube channel. It is the Sibanye-Stillwater's Super League Cup semi-final. It's heating up slowly but surely. First few minutes in this game, Warriors taking control of the territory battle. However, fast running rugby, a little bit of flair, a little bit of skills. Naka Bulls reminding us who is the home team this afternoon. Now both these teams will be fighting hard this afternoon, looking to book their spot in the final of this competition. First line out here for the Naka Bulls. How do they use it? Solid line out. Trying to use the rolling maul here. Being pushed back by the Warriors. Warriors not shying away from the physical contest. Naka Bulls gaining a little bit of momentum. There it is. 5 minutes on the clock. Naka Bulls reminding us that the semi-final is being played at their home stadium. You can hear the supporters, seeing the supporters in the background. They're smiling from ear to ear. 5 points on the board. 5 minutes in. Sibanye-Stillwater's Warriors struggling a little bit at the moment. First 2 minutes of the game, they were in it. They had all the territory. But I told you, with 77 minutes on the clock, this Naka Bulls team will most certainly make you sweat, especially when you're playing out here in Pretoria. As we see Graaf, the man who started that build-up for that first try earlier on, can he add 2 more points to their tally? Masterclass, straight through the poles. Graaf slotting away his first kick of the day. Naka Bulls, they're up to 7 points. 6 minutes on the clock. Sibanye-Stillwater's with all the work to do at the moment. They'll be looking to fight back in this game. We saw what they could do in the first 2 minutes. Can they bring back that energy, that flair, as we see the quick restart? Knock on there by the Naka Bulls. They'll be a little bit disappointed in that. Warriors looking to capitalize. Running into space here. Mare. Unfortunately not gaining any meters there. Knock on. That penalty going the way of the Warriors. Second scrum of the game. Can they use it to their advantage? They are within the territory of the Naka Bulls. Can they capitalize? They found themselves in the very same area about 5 minutes ago. Can they use this? Their scrummy Smith with ball in hand. He'll be looking for a quick feed, looking to spread the ball, string together a few passes. Solid scrum. Quick feed here by Smith. Solid momentum in that scrum by the Naka Bulls. As we hear their bench jumping to their feet, being vocal. When you talk about power, when you talk about muscles, that's exactly what the Naka Bulls are showing off this afternoon. First two scrums of the game going the way of the Naka Bulls. Warriors, they'll be scratching their heads a little bit, being a little bit worried about the contest at scrum time. Nice and easy touch finder. Just a kind reminder, this is a live broadcast brought to you by the Global Sport Network. We're coming to you live on YouTube. Remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. 8 minutes into the semi-final. It is the Sibanye-Stillwater's Super League Cup semi-final. It's all to play for. Second line out here in this big battle. Can we see more of the same from the Naka Bulls? Great contest at the line out. Warriors coming away with the ball there. Looking for quick ball movement here. They Scrummy Smith taking his time. Picking up his head, looking for options. What's the right pass? Liebenberg with a high box kick there. Naka Bulls with ball in hand. Graaf spreading that ball. Shaky pass. The captain, Potgieter, holding on to that ball. Naka Bulls still with ball in hand. Their ability for them to keep that ball alive, brilliant here. Slowing the game down a little bit are the Naka Bulls. Graaf, great combination, big hits. Ho-ho! Hard running rugby this afternoon. Potgieter, captain of the Naka Bulls, looking to break through this Warriors defensive line. Naka Bulls asking the right questions. Graaf looking for the box kick there. Not going according to plan. Both these teams being incredibly physical. If you want to experience the finest in club rugby, we're bringing it to you live on the Global Sports Network. Big semi-final here on the cards. We are 10 minutes in. Naka Bulls lead. 7 points on the board. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors, they're yet to score a single point. Kicking into touch are the Naka Bulls. Can we see more of the same? Kind reminder in terms of how that first try was scored. Exactly the same position, using lineouts, set pieces being a vital part of this game, especially in a semi-final. These are the parts of the game that you want to get right. You want to capitalize. They did so about 5 minutes ago to score that first try. Can they do it again? What we saw there earlier on, great line-out execution. Solid rolling mole. And the Warriors simply couldn't stop it. Seeing a few injuries on the park at the moment. The man with the number 7 on his back. A man who's had a few solid carries for the Warriors, Pretoria, being taken off by the medical team. Hopefully nothing too serious. He's a vital part to the squad. They'll want to ensure that he remains on the park. Here it is, line out time. How will the Bulls use it? Going for a long throw there. Knock on by the Bulls. They'll be a little bit disappointed. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors, they'll breathe a sigh of relief. However, it is another scrum. Looking at the first two scrums in this encounter, the Naka Bulls have completely annihilated the Warriors in the first two scrums. Can the Warriors bounce back? We still have a lot of time on the clock. Of course they can. Let's see what happens here. As we see a quick substitution here by the Warriors. Fuller running onto the park, looking to help out in the engine room. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. This will be a big scrum for them. about 7 meters out from their own try line. Naka Bulls, they'll be looking to push back here. Quick feed by the Warriors. Naka Bulls applying massive pressure. Nice and easy exit. Does he find touch? Unfortunately not. Naka Bulls picking up that ball. The man with the number 11 on his back, Maxwell, running into space. Makari. You can even hear his teammates on the touchline screaming his name. Penalty here. Given to the Naka Bulls. Warriors not rolling away. Interesting to see the shift in momentum in this game. 13 minutes on the clock. Naka Bulls lead by 7 points. Sibanye-Stillwater's Warriors have not scored a single point. One thing that I can tell you is that the atmosphere right here at the Naka Bulls Rugby Club is buzzing with excitement. We've got fans packed around this rugby field. It's looking beautiful. They're expecting some good rugby in the semi-final. Another line-out opportunity here. Great contest at line-out time by the Warriors. Coming away with the ball here. How do they use it? How do they alleviate the pressure of the defense? Nice and easy exits. Simple decision. Easy decision here. Don't put yourself under too much pressure. You already have pressure on the scoreboard. 15 minutes into the semi-final. Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup semi-final. Brought to you live on the Global Sport Network, live on YouTube. As we see a quick line out here by the Naka Bulls. Solid execution yet again. No opportunities here for what we saw earlier, the rolling mole. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors enjoying the benefits there of their hard work. What they did well there is not allowing that mole to form. However, big opportunity here. We have seen the Naka Bulls being a little bit better at scrum time. How do they use the scrum? How do they take full advantage? You can see their scrummy Smith talking to his back line. He'll be possibly looking for a quick feed here. But we know what the Naka Bulls are capable of, especially at scrum time. They've got a few big boys in their forward pack. Rock solid scrum yet again. Quick feed here by Smith. Does he pick it up? Fuller. Oh! Disappointing moment there for the Warriors. Fortunately, that ball moved backwards. Naka Bulls applying pressure here, looking for turnover ball. Again, that ball lost forward. Knock on. If you asked me, I'd say that that ball is a little bit slippery. Of course, we know the conditions throughout this week. Johannesburg, Pretoria, we have seen a lot of rain. So underfoot, the turf will be a little bit wet, will be a little bit heavy. But in terms of the conditions this afternoon, the sun is out, beautiful weather for rugby. However, this field will pose a little bit of a challenge for both these teams. Scrum opportunity here for the Naka Bulls. Storm with a solid feed. Watching that ball closely at the back of the scrum. Momentum building for the Naka Bulls. Nice and easy. Decision-making time here for the Naka Bulls. Do they go for 3 points? Do they go for a kick into touch? What do they do? These are the moments that matter in a semi-final. Naka Bulls making their intentions known. They're looking for maximum points. They're looking for a try. They've already scored one earlier, using a line out, rolling maul. Rolling maul that the Warriors couldn't stop. Another line out opportunity here. We spoke about it earlier. We said set pieces will be vital in the semi-final. Let's see how the Naka Bulls use this line out here. Solid execution. Yet again, as we called it, rolling maul. Can the Warriors stop this rolling maul? Unfortunately, they can't, as the Naka Bulls secure try number 2 in this semi-final. 18 minutes on the clock. They're smiling from ear to ear. The only passage of play that the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors were actually in control was the first few minutes of the game. Since then, Naka Bulls, they've been in full control. Second try on the board. 12 points. Graaf. The man on your screen right now, the man with ball in hand. Looking at his kicking percentage so far. Having missed one, this is his second conversion opportunity for the afternoon. How will he handle it? Looking to fix a few mistakes from earlier on. We know he's a classy player. Wind working perfectly in his advantage. As you see that smile from Graaf. Slotting away his second opportunity at a conversion, having missed one earlier. He'll be happy to know that he fixed those mistakes from earlier on. Naka Bulls, they move up to 14 points. 19 minutes on the clock. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors with a lot to do in the semi-final. Brought to you proudly by the Global Sports Network. We're coming to you live on our YouTube channel. Remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. It is the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. Knock on there from the restart. Now these are the errors that are creeping into the game of the Warriors. They'll be a little bit concerned about these moments. Their head coach, Jewel, he'll be worried about these moments. He won't want to see any of these mistakes. Yet another scrum here for the Naka Bulls. There hasn't been much of a scrum contest this afternoon. Naka Bulls have dominated a lot of the scrums that we've seen in the first 20 minutes of this game so far. Seeing a quick feed there by Storm. How do the Naka Bulls execute this one? Yet again, pure power. Pressure being applied there by the Warriors. Not rolling away there are the Naka Bulls, being penalized here. Now these are the moments that matter for the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. How do they use these moments? Choosing to go for the penalty kick here. Of course, looking at the scoreboard, they're 14 points behind are the Warriors. They haven't scored a single point. They're looking to add 3 points to their tally. They fly half, Ruben Liebenberg. Unfortunately, missing the 3 points there. He'll be scratching his head, being a little bit upset with himself there. Some would argue that's not a difficult kick. Poor execution there, not being able to add 3 points on the board. We're 21 minutes into the semi-final. 14 points to the Naka Bulls. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors, they haven't scored a single point just yet. Now looking at the first stanza of this game, the first 2 minutes of this game, the Warriors started like a house on fire. And then the Naka Bulls reminded them who's playing at home. Reminding them that this is our home ground. Since then, we've seen 2 beautifully executed tries by the Naka Bulls. Penalty going the way of the Naka Bulls. Skew throw by the Warriors. Small errors creeping into their game in the semi-final. If this continues, they might have a long afternoon right here at the Naka Bulls Rugby Club. Another scrum. Let's see how the Naka Bulls use this one. Solid scrum. Yet again seeing the power here of the Naka Bulls. Spreading that ball is Storm. Graaf combining with him beautifully. Chasing the ball there, unfortunately missing out. Maxwell. He was eyeing that ball. Being called back here. Referee had given advantage there. 24 minutes on the board. Naka Bulls lead by 14 points. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. They're yet to score a single point. Struggling a lot in terms of the momentum of this game. Naka Bulls in full control. Showing their class, showing their pedigree. It's about to be an interesting semi-final. If you're watching live on the Global Sports Network YouTube channel, remember to like, to share, to comment, and to subscribe. We bring you live sport every single week. Long throw here. Picked up by the Warriors as they're chasing the ball. Fuller chasing the ball for the Warriors. Choosing not to kick here are the Naka Bulls. Taking their time here with ball in hand. Greer. Penalty going the way of the Warriors. Quick tap here by Brits. Can they get their first try of the game? Looking for combination play. Unfortunately missing the pass there. Warriors still with ball in hand. Spreading that ball are the Warriors. Looking to combine nicely on the far end of the field. There it is. Their first try in the semi-final. Was it a try? Yes, it was. 5 points. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors off the mark. Can they add 2 more points to their tally? That's the big question. They'll be looking to close this gap on the scoreboard to 7 points. Remember the Naka Bulls, they're on 14 points. 1 try, 2 conversions. They're cruising nicely. But the Warriors fighting hard. Trying to make the semi-final a contest. The supporters in the stands, that's exactly what they're looking for. Let's see how Ruben Liebenberg uses this one. Definitely has the distance, but unfortunately doesn't have the precision. Ruben Liebenberg, he'll be scratching his head a little bit, having missed 2 opportunities, having missed 2 conversions, missing 4 points. It is a semi-final, so every point matters. Both these teams looking to book their spot in the final of the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. As we see the restart here. Struggling to snatch the ball, there are the Warriors. They still have ball in hand though. Applying pressure are the Naka Bulls. They were looking for a turnover opportunity there, not going according to plan. Nice and easy exit, alleviating the pressure. Great work. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors fighting their way back into this game. Line out opportunity here. Great execution by the Naka Bulls. You can hear the supporters, the bench of the Warriors, how happy they are with that call right there. 28 minutes in to the semi-final. Naka Bulls leading 14 to 5 points. Of course, a penalty being missed, as well as a conversion opportunity by Liebenberg. They'll be scratching their heads at halftime, knowing that those 5 points are vital in closing the gap between these two teams in the semi-final. 12 minutes left in this first half. Supporters getting involved, backing their team. Naka Bulls. They're having their way here with the scrums. Scrums completely unstoppable at the moment. More of the same here. Copy and paste. Don't change a recipe that works for you. A winning formula, some might call it. Naka Bulls going for touch. Gives them a line out. Let's see how they use this one. Remember that first try was scored in exactly this manner. Solid contest at the line out. Naka Bulls looking to execute that rolling maul. Can they secure their third try? Referee looking closely. Yes, yes, yes. That's the answer to that question as to whether the Naka Bulls can secure their third try. A weapon that has worked so well for this Naka Bulls team. Kick into touch, using the line out. A rolling maul that the Warriors can't stop. 2 tries having been scored now in the exact same way. Some would say they're writing a script. My question is, can the Warriors write a different script? Grof looking to slot away his second conversion, having missed his first. Slotting that one straight through the poles. He's smiling from ear to ear. We know when you're general, when you're fly half, when he's having a good game, everything becomes a little bit easier. However, looking at the way in which the Naka Bulls have played this game, brilliant combination between the forward pack and the backline players. Great combination of physicality and flair, fast running rugby. All departments being ticked this afternoon by the Naka Bulls. Hence they lead 21 to 5 points with 9 minutes left in this first half. Great take here by the captain of the Naka Bulls. Potgieter gaining meters. Scrummy looking for the pass there, not going according to plan. They still have ball in hand. Their hooker, Christopher, gaining a few meters. Makari asking the right questions. Maxwell being picked up there. Just being reminded that the Warriors are still here to play, even though the scoreboard doesn't necessarily say so. Lots of time left in this game. 8 minutes left in this first half. A whole 40 minutes left in the second half. It's all to play for. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors, they've scored 1 try in this game so far. Naka Bulls in full control. 21 to 5 points on the scoreboard. Looking at the scrums, Naka Bulls, they've been in full control. But it's not over. The Warrior supporters, they'll tell you in the stands, it's not over. It's a semi-final. Every minute counts, and only after full time will we know who has booked their spot in the final. Solid scrum yet again. Smith with ball in hand, looking for the quick feed. Warriors with a bounce in their step, looking for the gaps. Their fullback, Pretoria, asking the right questions. Nice fancy moves here. Fuller spreading that ball to Liebenberg. Running into contact here, taking their time. Picking up his head as they scrummy. Fuller looking for the pass, being put under pressure here by the Naka Bulls. Great breakthrough here by the number 6, Kotze. That ball being lost there. Little bit of frustration that we can hear on the bench of the Warriors. Small mistakes, slowly but surely creeping into their game. In a semi-final, you can't be making those mistakes, especially when there's a place up for grabs, a ticket to the final of the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. Can't be making those mistakes. Worry not, though, Warrior supporters. Lots of time to fix those mistakes. So much rugby still left. 5 minutes left in this first half. A full 40 minutes in the second half. Scrum opportunity here. Quick feed here by the Naka Bulls. Solid scrum, good contest here by the Warriors. Spreading that ball. Makari combining beautifully with Maxwell. Running into space. Not necessarily getting the pass there. Naka Bulls still with ball in hand. They're picking up the scraps, moving that ball quite quickly. Solid carry there by Iman. Captain of the Naka Bulls, Pretoria. Great ball movement here. Stringing together one or two passes. Graaf looking for the options. Big hit! Ho-ho! Now this is club rugby at its finest. Yo! You can hear the supporters, especially the Warrior supporters. Wow! What a hit! Ho-ho! Warriors looking dangerous, even though they might not be leading on the scoreboard, reminding us that they're here to play some hard rugby, bringing that physicality. Nice and easy touch finder, alleviating pressure. They'll be looking to use these moments. Last 4 minutes left in this first half. Sibanye, Stillwater, Warriors, how do they use these opportunities? We saw a few mistakes creeping into their game earlier on, but can they rectify all those mistakes in this last 4 minutes in the second half of this game? Let's see how they use this line out. Poorly executed line out, going for the long throw, not finding his jumper are the Warriors. Naka Bulls on the hunt, looking to turn over that ball. Warriors still with ball in hand, shaking off a few tackles here. Warriors looking for the gaps, looking to spread the ball. Great take there by the winger. Francis fixing his mistakes from earlier on. The man with the number 11 on his back. He's made a few mistakes earlier on, reminding us that it's okay. Fixing those mistakes. A beautiful, beautiful take there on the wing, unfortunately. Not finding a gap. But Warriors building momentum. Slowly but surely. Making the semi-final a proper contest, even though the scoreboard might not say so. 3 minutes left in this first half of this semi-final. Brought to you proudly by the Global Sports Network. We're live on YouTube. Remember to like, to share, to comment, and to subscribe. Let's see what the Warriors do here. Putting down that shoulder is Olivier. Building momentum. About 5 meters away. Can they score their second try? Their supporters backing them, giving them support. Bulls being tested defensively. Advantage being given to the Warriors. Referee awards the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors with their second try of the game. Vital, vital, vital try. We called it. We said that there's still a lot of rugby in this game. Warriors showing us why. Last few minutes in this first half. Beautifully, beautifully executed move there. Building the phases, spreading the ball, stringing together a few passes. That helps. That gives you momentum. That gives you confidence. The Warriors hearing the love, the cheers, the support from their supporters. It's a big semi-final here. Ruben Liebenberg. He struggled a little bit off the kicking tee. Can he slot this one away? Ooh! Ho ho! Hearing the reaction from their bench. Ruben is having a tough day in the office. He's missed a penalty, 3 points. He's missed a conversion earlier on. He's missed another one. Hey, 7 points. Not being secured by the Warriors. Hey, cheeky move here. Cheeky move by the Naka Bulls. Catching the Warriors sleeping, fortunately. Referee calling them back here. We are about to reach the end of this first half in the semi-final. Brought to you proudly by the Global Sports Network. We're live on YouTube right now. Remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. We are bringing you the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup semi-final. It's a big one, being played right here at the Naka Bulls Rugby Club. Beautiful conditions. Great weather. Supporters standing around the field. The stage has been set and the rugby is brilliant this afternoon. Let's see here. How do the Bulls use the scrum? Hearing the hooter there in the background. Makari, fast running feet, going for the goose. Getting a little bit of space. Naka Bulls combining quite nicely. Solid carry there by their number 6, Bosov. Graaf looking to combine nicely with his backline players. Warriors being tested defensively. Penalty going the way of the Naka Bulls. Vital penalty here. Let's see what they do here. Should be an interesting call here. Referee calling them back for an advantage that he had given earlier on. Let's see what they do here. Should be the last passage of play in this first half of the semi-final. Copy and paste. Stick to a winning formula. Don't change something that's working for you. That's exactly what the Naka Bulls are doing right now. Looking strong are the Naka Bulls. Great line-out execution here by the Naka Bulls. Looking to use their line-outs. Unfortunately, having done so well with their line-outs during this first half of this game. We have reached halftime right here in the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup semi-final. Naka Bulls in full control of this game so far, reminding us who is the home team. When you look at scrum time, they've been dominant. When you look at physicality, they've been dominant, as well as fast-running rugby. Key talking points looking at that first half. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors, they were quick off the mark. First 2 minutes, first 3 minutes of the game, starting like a house on fire. However, quite quickly in this encounter, the Naka Bulls reminding us why they are one of the teams to watch in this competition. Some would argue that they are the favorites to win this competition. One area where the Naka Bulls will want to sharpen up, will want to improve heading into the second half is of course Graaf missing 2 kicks earlier on. He'll be looking to fix that, but he's a classy player, top quality. He won't be worried. He'll shake off those few mistakes and he'll be looking to be much better in the second half. Now just a kind reminder, this is a live broadcast brought to you proudly by the Global Sports Network. We're coming to you live on YouTube. Just remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. We're bringing you great sporting action every single week, especially the semi-final between the Naka Bulls and the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. 21 points on the board for the Bulls. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors, they're on 10 points. The one thing I can tell you about this semi-final is the fans have definitely brought the energy, they brought the flair. I mean, you look at this environment, beautiful, beautiful conditions for great running rugby. Supporters around this rugby field being vocal, witnessing every big hit, reacting. The Warriors bench getting involved with some of those big hits, especially that one that we saw towards the latter part of the semi-final. But the fans that have been the most vocal have been the fans of the Naka Bulls. I suppose one would argue that home ground advantage counts in their favor, outnumbering the supporters of the Warriors. But so much to play for in the second half. The action continues right here on the Global Sport Network, coming to you live on YouTube. Remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. The second half will be coming to you shortly. A reminder of the scoreboard right now in the semi-final in the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. It is a semi-final. It's a big one. Naka Bulls lead 21 to 10 points. As you can see, the teams in their huddle, getting a few moments just to breathe a little bit, drink a little bit of water, rehydrate. It is a little bit warm in Pretoria this afternoon. Let's look at both these teams. Looking at what they've both done well in this first half. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors starting off like a house on fire. We have seen great running rugby from them, being able to use their opportunities brilliantly, finding the gaps, taking full advantage, especially towards the latter part of that first half, securing 2 tries. A little blemish on their record in that first half is the fact that Ruben Liebenberg, a man with a little bit of pressure on his shoulders, their fly half, having missed 7 points, 1 penalty and 2 conversions, not being able to slot those away. He'll be looking to fix those mistakes in the second half. He's a classy player. He'll remind you of his kicking record, a man who can definitely bounce back in the second half. Warriors coach being very, very vocal. Coach Jewel being vocal with his Warriors team at the moment, giving a few instructions. Of course, he'll be addressing a few errors that we saw in that first half. Lack of concentration, ball being a little bit slippery, a few knock-ons as well. They'll be looking to tighten up in the second half. But looking at this Bulls outfit, they're playing in front of their home supporters. Lots of the fans screaming Naka Bulls throughout that first half. The Bulls have been so dominant. Every phase of the game, they've dominated quite nicely, losing their grip on that first half just towards the end of that first half, conceding that penalty, conceding that try. But they'll worry not. They've been dominant. At scrum time, they've done well in terms of finding the combination between their scrummy Storm as well as their fly half Graaf, who've been the engine of this Naka Bulls outfit at scrum time. Yo, some would say there wasn't much of a contest there. Really asserting themselves in this game are the Bulls, especially at scrum time. However, 14 minutes still on the clock in the second half as we're about to see kickoff in the semi-final of this Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. Naka Bulls leading at the moment, 21 points to 10 points. It's still all to play for right here at the Naka Bulls Rugby Club, coming to you live on the Global Sport Network. Great rugby every single week. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. Big semi-final here in Pretoria as the second half kicks off in the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. Great take there by the Warriors. Early penalty here, going the way of the Warriors. Warriors, they'll be playing from left to right on your screen. Naka Bulls in the second half, they're playing from right to left. Let's see how the second half turns out. Quite an interesting script being written in that first half by the Naka Bulls in full control. Can the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors bounce back? Graaf with ball in hand here for the Naka Bulls. Somewhat of a general in the back line for the Bulls. Solid take by the Warriors. Whoa, big hit. Naka Bulls pushing back. Reminding the Warriors who's playing at home. Dummy pass there by Brits. Running into contact. Liebenberg combining nicely in the back line, stringing together a few passes. Knock on. Naka Bulls securing that penalty. A little bit of a slower start that we're seeing in the second half. In the first half, the Warriors started like a house on fire. Being a little bit more controlled in the second half. They've got everything to play for. I mean, at this point, when you're trailing by 11 points, you might as well throw the kitchen sink at it. Throw everything at it. You've got everything to play for. You've got nothing to lose at this point in time. If you win it, you secure a spot in the final. But the Naka Bulls won't make it easy for the Warriors. Big scrum here. Looking at the first half, the scrum contest has been very, very difficult for the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. What happens here? Solid scrum, great momentum. Storm watching that ball like a hawk at the back of the scrum, combining yet again with Graaf, missing the pass. Look at Graaf with hands on his head, being a little bit disappointed. He was looking for a good offload there. Supporters also getting excited there, thinking that that could be an opportunity to run straight through. Yet again, that man who's done well in that first half, Austin, with another touch finder. Now looking at what we saw in that first half, the ability for the Naka Bulls to make the right decision at the right time has been vital. Line-out opportunity here. We saw how they've used this as a weapon earlier on Referee just getting involved here, taking control of this game. Reminding the Warriors just to give a little bit of space here for the line-out throw. More of the same from the Naka Bulls. Great execution of that line-out into that rolling maul, building that momentum, gaining meter after meter. Warriors fighting back, not allowing the Bulls to be in control. But that maul is gaining momentum. Can the Warriors stop this rolling maul? Can they stop them? Unfortunately not. Copy and paste. Naka Bulls not changing a winning formula. That has been the weapon for the Naka Bulls this afternoon, using the set pieces effectively. Great execution of the line out into a solid rolling maul, and the Warriors simply can't stop it. Naka Bulls securing their first try in the second half. Just a reminder, we are coming to you live on the Global Sport Network, live on YouTube. If you're watching us live on YouTube right now, remember to like, remember to share, and remember to subscribe. We bring you live sporting action every week. This one is the semi-final of the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup between the Naka Bulls and the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. As we see a restart here. Potgieter, what an absolutely beautiful take, running into space. Gaining about 40 meters is the captain for the Naka Bulls. Supporters getting involved. What a brilliant take, reminding us why he leads from the front, setting the example. He's been brilliant in this game. 46 minutes on the clock. 34 minutes left in this game. It's all to play for.
Jock, volgende stop. Volgende stop.
Another big scrum
35.
opportunity here
35.
for the Bulls. Storm with the quick feed. Yet again showcasing their power here. Are the Bulls. Potgieter with yet another solid carry. Hearing a few calls here from the touchline. Some of the Warriors fans screaming there for a yellow. Referee not agreeing. Warriors feeling the pressure in this encounter so far. "47 minutes on the clock. It is the semi-final. Both these teams looking to book their spots in the final of the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. Naka Bulls, they've got a slight advantage at this point in time. They're on 28 points. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors having scored just 10 points. How will the semi-final play out? Can't make any predictions yet. But looking at that first half and the first few minutes of the second half, Naka Bulls in full control. Full control. Atmosphere in Pretoria at the Naka Bulls Rugby Club. Fantastic. Supporters getting involved. People standing around the rugby field, watching closely. It is a semi-final after all. Warriors kicking into touch. Line-out opportunity here for the Warriors. If they want to compete in this game, they'll have to fix a few errors. From the first half. Good contest, good contest. Pressure being applied by the Naka Bulls. As we see a substitution running onto the park at the moment. Daniel, the man in the number 23 jersey, looking to add a little bit of energy into this Naka Bulls team. It is a time in the game where you will see the fatigue creeping in. Concentration will be vital in the semi-final. Scrum opportunity here. Storm with ball in hand. Looking for the feed, watching that ball like a hawk at the back of that scrum. Running straight into contact is Heman. Naka Bulls moving like a well-oiled machine. Losing the ball there. Being a little bit too eager there are the Naka Bulls. So often we talk about it in games of consequence. A game that determines whether you progress to the next phase of the competition or not. Sometimes it's easier to stick to the basics. Sometimes it's easier to keep your eye on the ball. Make sure that your hands are ready to catch that ball. We saw a few handling errors from the Warriors in that first half. Handling errors creeping into the game of the Naka Bulls at the moment. They won't worry too much. Remember, they are leading 28 to 10 points in the semi-final. Brought to you proudly by the Global Sport Network. We're live on YouTube, bringing you the best sporting action across the country. Scrum opportunity here for the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. How will they use it? Quick feed by Smith. Looking to spread that ball. Kick and chase here by the Warriors. Makari snatching that ball away. Pressure being applied by the Warriors. Fortunately, Makari not going into touch there for the Bulls. Looking to run that ball. Push hard using their big muscles. Daniel, the man with the number 23 on his back. Gaining a meter or two there. Naka Bulls gaining meter after meter. Warriors being smart there, using the touchline as an extra defender. You know, sometimes when you can't stop the man, just push him into touch. Gives you an opportunity to breathe a little bit. And what's also nice about that passage of play is that it's a line out for the Warriors. Substitution time yet again. The man with the number 19 on his back. Running onto the park. Marku van Balen. He'll be looking to make an impact in this game. Line-out opportunity here. Poor execution yet again. Fans getting involved. Calling for a skew throw there. Referee agreeing. The one thing about the second half is we have seen a slower game. Less tries. Remember, this is a big semi-final in the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. Coming to you live from the Naka Bulls Rugby Club in Pretoria. 53 minutes on the clock. Naka Bulls lead 28 to 10 points. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors with all to play for in the second half. They'll be looking to write a different script to the one that the Naka Bulls have written so far. Solid hit in that scrum there. Great combination of passes yet again. Graaf being involved. Makari gaining a few meters. Offload to Maxwell. He looked dangerous in the first half. Yet again looking dangerous when given the opportunity. The man with the black scrum cap on his head for the Naka Bulls. Things getting interesting. 54 minutes on the clock. Naka Bulls still in control. 28 to 10 points. Interesting thing to note about the second half. This first stanza in the second half, the third stanza of this game, being a lot slower than what we saw earlier on. Austin kicking into touch. Let's see how the Bulls use this line out. Looking at the first 54 minutes in this game, Naka Bulls, they've used their set pieces as a lethal weapon, combining the line-out execution, a great rolling maul, securing vital tries. Solid contest. Solid contest. However, referee not being happy at all there. Taking control of this game. The stats in this game will tell you that the Naka Bulls have executed their lineouts brilliantly. A few errors creeping into their game at the moment. Solid contest. Naka Bulls knocking it, fortunately, in their favor. That ball moving backwards. Warriors not rolling away there. Naka Bulls. Yet again, more of the same. Don't change a formula that works. Austin kicking into touch. We've seen this move before. I mean, if it's working for you, why would you change it? However, the difference from the first half and the second half is the fact that the Naka Bulls, they've been a little bit more, let's call it, inconsistent in the execution of their lineouts. Can they fix those errors that we saw earlier on? Long throw. Brilliant take there. Naka Bulls weighing their options. Their scrummy Smith. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Naka Bulls, yet another try. And we spoke about it, just their ability to use their lineouts to apply continuous pressure. And unfortunately, the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors haven't had an answer this afternoon for the manner in which the Naka Bulls have used their lineouts and that rolling maul. Adding to that, great physicality. Once that forward pack applies pressure on you, if you don't know your story, you'll have a long afternoon. And that's exactly what has happened to the Warriors. Finding it very, very difficult to compete in the semi-final so far. Graaf slotting away that conversion. A few question marks about his kicking in the first half. However, in the second half, he's been absolutely brilliant. Naka Bulls moving up to 35 points, slotting away another try, as well as securing the conversion. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors, they're having a long day in the office so far, feeling the pressure of playing in Pretoria. Quick restart, great take by the Bulls.
That's what I did, bro. But actually, you don't know how a good head is, yeah? Like, generally, when I play a ball,
No, but Ruan did it for me.
then I catch the ball like this. Look, let's go. Go. Then I run, then I go behind you like
Good
this.
box kick by Graf. Warriors securing it though. Asking the right questions, running into space. However, Naka Bulls closing those gaps quite quickly. Great take there by the Naka Bulls. Williams, solid take from him. Running into space. Choosing not to kick the ball out. Graf. Long kick. Helping them gain territory. Warriors allowing that ball to roll out.
You know what you see when I was under 20 there?
58 minutes on the clock. It is the big semi-final in the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. It's all to play for here. Looking at the first 60 minutes in this game. Naka Bulls, they've been in full control, reminding us of their class, their pedigree. Why many consider them the favorites to win this competition. However, one has to be fair. On the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors, they've had some brilliant moments, running into space, being so competitive. Of course, when you look at that scoreboard, not really a true reflection of the game that we've seen. They've got 10 points on the board so far. But we remember the 10 points that have been missed, the 7 points that have been missed off the kicking tee by Ruben Liebenberg. At the end of this game, they could be scratching their head a little bit, wondering what went wrong off the kicking tee. Scrum popping up there at the top. Referee just asking them to reset there. When you look at the stats in this game, 60 minutes on the clock so far. Scrums have been a very, very, very difficult area of the game for the Warriors. The physicality, the muscle, power that has been brought by the Naka Bulls has made things very difficult for the Warriors. However, 20 minutes still left on the clock. Anything can happen. Warriors supporters in the stands, their bench still believe we can see a big swing in this last stanza of this game. Let's see how the Warriors use this try. The scrum. Penalty going the way of the Warriors. Running into space is their number 13, Van Arswegen. Oh, field being a little bit wet. Slipping there are the Warriors. Remember, we've had a lot of rain in Pretoria. Of course, conditions underfoot will be a little bit muddy, a little bit slippery, given the wet conditions that we've seen throughout this week due to the rain. Warriors, however, not worried about the conditions. They're looking for another try. Not rolling away are the Warriors, being penalized here. Decision-making time here for the Warriors. How do they use this? Do they go for 3 points? Do they go for a touch finder? Look for maximum points through the line out, maybe possibly a mole. We haven't seen a proper rolling mole by the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. Are we going to see one right here? Let's see what decisions they take. Okay. Running straight into contact. Warriors looking to string together a few passes. Bulls looking to apply that defensive pressure. Gaining momentum are the Warriors here. Their supporters getting involved in this game. Looking for their team to fight back, to push back, and showcase why they are in the semi-final. As I've mentioned before, the scoreboard, not a true reflection of what we've seen from this Warriors outfit. They've been a lot more competitive than the 10 points that they have on the board. However, the difference between these two teams, Naka Bulls just executing brilliantly when given the opportunity. Asking the right questions here. Are the Warriors looking to run into space? Van Asviachen. Warriors still with ball in hand. Can they secure their third try of the game? 63 minutes on the clock. 17 minutes left in the semi-final. Knocking on the door. Sibanye-Stillwater. Warriors hungry for another try in this game. 64 minutes on the clock. The semi-final in the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup getting interesting. We have seen a slower second half. Most of the work being done in that first half by the Naka Bulls. They'll be smiling from ear to ear. Having done the work, they put in the long hours, running onto the field. There's a man with the number 16 on his back, Franku Buta. He'll be looking to add a little bit of energy into that engine room of the Naka Bulls. I can tell you that forward pack has been so vital for the Naka Bulls this afternoon. Their coach will be happy, smiling from ear to ear. His team brilliantly executing the game plan. Again, when you look at the way in which the Naka Bulls have managed and controlled the first 65 minutes of this encounter, textbook stuff, showing why they play at this level, showing why they're one of the best club rugby teams in the country, showing why they are always in the conversation for every single tournament that they are involved in. Class personified. They've got 1 foot so far in the final. Remember, this is a live broadcast coming to you live on the Global Sport Network on YouTube. If you're watching us live, just remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. Bringing you great sporting action every single week. You don't want to miss the action. This one, it is the semi-final of the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. It's a big one out in Pretoria. Naka Bulls leading this one 35 to 10 points against the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. Great atmosphere. Supporters on their feet, watching closely as the last 15 minutes of the semi-final unfolds. Opportunity for the Warriors here. Can they use the scrum? Hey, hey, hey. Naka Bulls. We spoke about the injection of energy and power through players like Franku Botma. Substitutions coming off the bench for the Naka Bulls. Unfortunately, the Warriors not being able to compete there at scrum time. When your forwards are doing their job, things become a lot easier for the backline players. Hence, players like Storm have been confident, combining so brilliantly with Graaf, their fly half. Each department, from the forward pack to the backline players, handling their business this afternoon. Another great execution of the line out. Spreading that ball. All the Naka Bulls running into space here. Great combination play by the Naka Bulls. Makari trying to keep that ball alive. Being pushed into touch there. Brilliant effort by Makari, the speedster. The fullback with the number 15 on his back. He's been dangerous. He's been knocking on the door of opportunity. He's looked so good throughout the semi-final. Asking the right questions, yet again, finding himself into space. However, Warriors tracking back brilliantly, closing those gaps, not allowing the speedster to make his way to the try line. Quick water break. Opportunity for the two teams to rehydrate in the semi-final. 69 minutes on the clock in the semi-final. It is the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup semi-final. Naka Bulls lead 35 points on the board. The Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors trailing on the scoreboard. They just got 10 points. 25 points being the difference between these two teams. Class, maturity, pedigree being shown by the Naka Bulls. Warriors, they'll be looking for an easy exit. Getting the kick away. Well done. Naka Bulls, they were hunting, smelling. Another try. 10 minutes left in the semi-final. Coming to you live from the Naka Bulls Rugby Club in Pretoria. Traveling teams tend to struggle here, given the class of this home team. Line-out opportunity. Brilliantly taken by the skipper, Potgieter. Charging, rolling ball, gaining momentum. Looking for the gap. Can he find a partner, a teammate, to offload that ball to Potgieter, combining perfectly with the man with the number 19 on his back. Marku van Dalen. Yes, sir. Adding 5 points to their tally. Moving the Naka Bulls to 40 points at this point. One could say they are truly unstoppable. With 10 minutes left in the semi-final, Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors, they'll need a miracle to come back in this game. Is it possible? I don't know. What I can tell you is that Graaf has been looking good in the second half of the kicking tee, adding 2 more points, moving their tally up to 42 points. The difference between these two teams now sitting at 32 points. Some would say it's over. However, we know in a semi-final it's not over until it's over. It's not over until the referee blows that final whistle. Let's see how the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors handle this last 9 minutes of this game. As we see a restart here by the Warriors, chasing that ball. Solid take by the Bulls. Under pressure, securing the ball, running into space. Hard work being put in here by the Naka Bulls. Playing with confidence, playing with flair, playing with physicality. Everything going right. A little bit of a hot potato there for their number 12, Himan. Holding on to that ball though. No slippery hands on that occasion. Graaf looking for the chip and chase. Makari applying pressure. Looking for turnover ball here. Makari doing brilliant work. Putting in a big shift here is Makari. Just watch the way in which Graaf is combining with his backline teammates. Just the ability to read the game there. Seeing the space behind the defensive line of the Warriors. Graaf, measured kick. Kicking it directly into that space. Makari applying pressure. Warriors, they'll have to be careful. They'll have to be very, very careful. 7 minutes on the clock. Big scrum here by the Naka Bulls. Just looking at some of these backline players for the Naka Bulls. They've done so well this afternoon. Players like Storm, Graaf, Maxwell, who's been substituted. Himan, he's been a machine. Austin in the number 13 jersey. Yes, meneer, hy is gevaarlik. Your kicks into touch have been vital to the team's success this afternoon. Storm with a nice feed here. That scrum collapsing, unfortunately. One area where the Warriors have truly been outclassed in the semi-final has been at scrum time. Naka Bulls, knowing their game plan so well. It's almost like they had it written on the back of their hands, some of these players. Scrum time, brilliant. Players like Ron, their skipper. He's been brilliant. Christoph, Beside note, that forward pack, lethal, dominating every scrum. Quick tap here by the number 19. Van Baalen looking to find the gap. The man who's had a blinder this afternoon. The skipper of this brilliant Naka Bulls team. The man with the number 8 on his back. Potgieter. Wow, what a performance this afternoon. Leading from the front in the first half. Just his way in which he's carried the ball, running straight into contact, finding the gaps on numerous occasions. 5 minutes left in this game. He secures another try for the Naka Bulls. Graaf. Definitely a little bit more confident. 1 or 2 blemishes, 1 or 2 mistakes in the first half. But since then, he's been looking really good as the fly half of this Naka Bulls team. What an absolutely brilliant semi-final by the Naka Bulls. They've looked so good, moving up to 49 points, completely outclassing the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors team this afternoon. Let's see if the Warriors can get a consolation try. Not if you're making mistakes like that. Referee bringing them back for a scrum. We've got a few minutes left in this semi-final. Coming to you live from the Naka Bulls Rugby Club in Pretoria. Naka Bulls, they're smiling from ear to ear, cruising nicely, as they would say. They've already got 1 foot in the final of the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. They're very happy at the moment. They've dominated the scrums. They've got another scrum right now. Can we see more of the same? Can we see the Warriors compete? Spreading that ball nicely. Fast running feet here by the Bulls. Great defense. Solid defense. Yet again, Potgieter gaining like 15 meters for this Bulls team. You have to admit, if you're looking for a captain to stand up, if you're looking for someone that can say, give me the ball, I'll make things happen. The man with the number 8 on his back, Potgieter, leader, general of this Naka Bulls team. He's done that throughout this whole afternoon. Great combination in that back line by players like Storm, Graaf. They've been brilliant. Austin, his ability to read the game, lethal. Iman, the man with the number 12 on his back. Too much. Nice and easy. 3 points added to their tally. Naka Bulls, as you can hear the supporters in the stands, smiling from ear to ear. They're very happy with their ticket that is slowly but surely being engraved with their name. 1 foot already in the big final, looking at the scoreboard. One would say it's only a matter of time. 3 minutes left in this game. Naka Bulls, their head coach, he'll be looking at some mistakes that he can fix already in the final. Yet again, running beautifully into space are the Naka Bulls, holding on to that ball brilliantly. Marku van Balen, great work he's done as a substitute coming into this game, providing additional support to this outfit. Great running rugby on display in the semi-final. To the supporters that have bought a ticket, they've definitely gotten their money's worth with this semi-final. Remember, every second of the action brought to you live by the Global Sport Network. We're coming to you live on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. Bringing you only the finest rugby, especially in the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. We talk about club rugby being the grassroots, being the feeding system of South African rugby. And the semi-final proves exactly why. Brilliant, brilliant rugby on display. Scrum and the penalty going the way of the Warriors. Getting a little bit too excited there. Is Jacques Stander, the man with the number 23 on his back for the Warriors. Referee calling them back. Quite a big difference that we've seen in the second half. You look at the movement, you look at the pace of the game. First half being a lot faster. A lot of the momentum that the Naka Bulls have had in this game was secured in that first half. However, the second half has been a lot slower, more calculated, seeing more precision, more accuracy from the Naka Bulls. Whoa, big hits, running straight into contact. Are the Warriors, some would say running into a brick wall there, not being able to control the ball, are the Warriors. But that's because the Naka Bulls are applying pressure, not allowing them to breathe, not allowing them to find the gap. Naka Bulls putting in a solid 80-minute performance this afternoon in the semi-final. A few minutes left in the semi-final. Just a reminder of the scoreboard. Naka Bulls in full control from start to finish. 51 points to 10 points. Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors having a long afternoon here in Pretoria. They've had a few brilliant moments though, not necessarily being able to capitalize. And again, I'll say it, the scoreboard not a true reflection of what they've brought to the semi-final. It could have been a lot closer. Solid scrum by the Bulls. What a pass there between Graaf and Storm. Graaf not even looking, just knowing that his teammate will be there. Shows you the chemistry between this team. A team that plays together quite often. A team that knows each other well. And those moves are copy and paste from the training ground. Shows you the work that they're putting in midweek. Without a solid midweek training schedule, there's no way you'll get solid performances like these. There's no way you'll execute passes like those that we just saw from Graaf, combining so nicely with his scrummy Storm. Last few minutes of this game, the semi-final basically done right here at the Naka Bulls Rugby Club. What can the Warriors do with the scrum? Can they get a consolation try? Shaky at scrum time there. Contest for the ball there. They're number 14, running straight into space. Yes, they might not go into the final, but they're number 14. Marks Williams securing a consolation try for the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors, securing their third try of the game, their first try in the second half, reminding us that they're still alive in this contest. Unfortunately, little time left. As I say that, the hooter goes off in the background. It's a done deal. Nice. Hitting the post there. Carl, the man with the number 2 on his 22, pardon me, on his back. Slotting that one away. That's how it ends right here in the semi-final of the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup semi-final. Naka Bulls with a convincing victory, reminding us of their class, their maturity, and the pedigree that they bring to this competition. Quality outfit. They say form is temporary, but class is permanent. And it was class all the way by this Naka Bulls team. They were brilliant this afternoon, giving their home supporters something to enjoy, something to marvel at, some might say. Being truly unstoppable in the semi-final. Just a reminder, this final is coming to you live. Pardon me, semi-final is coming to you live on the YouTube page of the Global Sport Network. Every single week, we bring you the best in sporting action. Remember to like, to share, and to subscribe to this beautiful platform that brings you live action like this. You can't predict this stuff. Dominating this game are the Naka Bulls. Brilliant semi-final. When you look at the way in which this game played out, Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors coming out strong, starting like a house on fire, looking so sharp, looking so brilliant. However, not necessarily being able to handle that pace throughout the game. They've made a few mistakes, vital mistakes. They'll be a little bit disappointed given the performance that we saw from them. But I'll remind you that this Warriors outfit had some great moments in this game. They looked so good. However, execution letting them down in vital moments of the game. They were able to slot away 3 tries, giving them 15 points and then a conversion. 17 points on the board in this semi-final for the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. Tough outing for them. Naka Bulls in full control, controlling a big part of this game. A solid 75 minutes went in their favor. It was a tough outing for them. However, beautiful conditions. The support of the local supporters helping them, giving them a little bit of energy, a little bit of extra flair. Beautiful afternoon of rugby here for the supporters who came out. Naka Bulls, they were brilliant in terms of reading the game, making the right decisions, handling and controlling the pace of the game when you look back to that first half, first 5 minutes not going according to plan. However, after that first 5 minutes, they were in full control, scoring about 4 tries in that first half, being able to use their set pieces as a lethal weapon. So strong, so lethal. When you look at this Naka Bulls team, just the way in which they were able to use their set pieces. About 4 tries coming in the exact same way. Copy and paste. Textbook stuff. Austin, their number 13, kicking the ball into touch. Great line-out execution. A great rolling maul that the the Warriors couldn't stop. And from there, the momentum from that rolling maul, building and building and building. And when it comes to physicality, the Warriors truly struggled. That's how the Naka Bulls dominated this game. A beautiful semi-final. Played right here in Pretoria. Beautiful stuff. Remember, we are coming to you live on the Global Sports Network, live on YouTube. Every single second of the action brought to you live. We're incredibly proud to bring you the best sporting action across the country. Of course, a special mention to the title sponsors of this competition, Sibanye-Stillwater. Thank you so much for your contribution to this competition. We now move on to the post-match presentation. We'll be chatting to the captains as well as the coaches that have played a vital role in this encounter, in the semi-final this afternoon. Stay tuned. Full time right here at the Naka Bulls Rugby Club in Pretoria. Semi-final in the Sibanye-Stillwater's Super League Cup has come to an end. The Naka Bulls securing an absolutely brilliant victory, 56 points to 17 points against the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors. I've got Marinus van der Walt joining me, the head coach of the Bulls. He's smiling, but knowing him, I know that there are some areas to improve as well, sir.
Yeah, I'm not going to use the word, but yeah, we were not very good today. But hats off to Sibanye. They came to play. They were really good. They carried the ball well. They stopped us behind the advantage line, which was really good. Our pack couldn't get forward ball. But we lost 8 lineouts. So for Naka Bulls, that's way below our standard.
Talking about disappointing lineouts there, I know that you're not happy, but I'm sure you're happy with the performance of your 8th man, a player like Potgieter, being such a vital component of this team as well. Maybe other players that have shone brightly in the semi-final for you as head coach?
Yeah, Potty is always a good player. He's basically always man of the match, you know. But Eckhart Bos of my other loose forward played well as well. And then, yeah, the whole pack scrummed well. I think that's where we won the game. Yeah, it's not too many positives at the moment in my head, but I'm going to go and have a look at the game.
Let me give you one positive, coach. I mean, the way in which in the first half and the second half, you were able to just go from a set piece, which was a line-out, combining that with a rolling ball. You used that quite effectively. Weren't you happy with that, or you want that to be a little bit better, coach?
Yeah, still, nine line-outs is not good enough. Yeah, we did well with our mauls. But that's a given for us. We should do well with our. They sacked us well, really well, yeah. So I'm not very chuffed with our lineouts.
Now, talking about this competition, it is the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup. Talk to me about the importance of a competition like this. We know that club rugby is the heartbeat of South African rugby. For you, as the head coach of the Naka Bulls, why is it so important for the team to continuously be playing good club rugby throughout the year?
Yeah, I think it's like everything else. It's about competition and getting our guys ready. We still want to be the #1 club in South Africa, and for us to keep being at that spot, we have to play against good opposition. So this competition fantastic for everybody, and it's across borders, which is always a very good thing.
Coach Marinus, I know that you're not as happy, but regardless, you are through to the final, and well done for the performance that we saw this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
We're still live right here at the Pretoria home ground of the Naka Bulls, the Naka Bulls Rugby Club. The semi-final has come to an end between the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors and the Naka Bulls. Naka Bulls taking full advantage of every opportunity that they were given in the semi-final. The head coach of the Warriors, Coach Jewel, joins me right now. A man who's a little bit disappointed, but I'm sure there are a few positives that you can take from that game, Coach.
Yeah, obviously I am disappointed. We're not here to lose. We tried to win. But yeah, also today we played against the #1 in the world. We knew their scrums is going to be tough. Their mauls is going to be tough. So that's where they beat us. If you take those two out, I think it was equally matched. So that is a big positive for us. And also for us to see the bench, like I said to Willem now, Willem for me also Strauss, that it's a benchmark now for us. We know where to go. And remember, we're a new club. It's the 3rd year now. We're going there, but it's not excuses. If you want to bark with the big dogs, you must stand up and you must do it. So yeah, it was a big lesson for us today. Yeah, it's disappointed, but I think if you look overall on it, there's a lot of positives for us to work on. And yeah, we will take it. I think we as Warriors also will come back stronger. We will go and work on it. We will take responsibility for our faults and mistakes what we make, the bad decisions on the field. But we'll get there. We will get back to it. We'll be back.
Coach, you talk about the fact that this is a new club, and the beautiful thing for me to see is the fact that a new club reached the semi-final, which is a brilliant thing because you could have been knocked out a lot earlier as well. For you as a head coach heading into future competitions, what are some of the big positives that you take away with the squad that you have? Because yes, you lost in the semi-final, but I'm sure that there's a lot of positives, and you are also planning for future tournaments as well.
Yeah, no, like I said, there's a lot of positives here. And I mean, like I said, also we played against the number one, and obviously they can scrum, they can maul. So for that we know what's a benchmark, so we're going to work very hard on that now. So that is one for us. And also then in the Leopards League, also there, for us also still to qualify for the Gold Cup, want to go to the Gold Cup. That is our goal. Our goal also for in the Sibanye-Stillwater, because we're the main sponsor. So there was a lot of pressure on us for that. And we played very hard rugby. We played Centurion was very hard, Grizzlies was very hard. I mean, for us on the bodies, a new club also, then you take on number one, so you take on 3-2-1 of the Colton.
Quite tough, eh?
Yeah, and 3 weeks in a row. So that is very tough. I think that is also the one thing that we were lacking today on it, conditioning wise, I will say. And then obviously the experience and what we gained today also, that will definitely help us in the future.
Talking about this competition, the Sibanye-Stillwater Super League Cup, the heartbeat of South African rugby, in my opinion, is definitely club rugby. For you as a coach, I asked Coach Marinas earlier on as well, just the importance of competitions like this, ensuring that throughout the year we are seeing club rugby at a very competitive level. And also for a lot of these players, more rugby means that they get better at their skills.
No, it is. Now, club rugby is definitely, there is a place for club rugby. I think club rugby, everybody was looking at the varsity cups. Varsity cup is also very good. It's their own competition there for the students, but for the open clubs, we were supposed to have it a long time ago. You will see now this is the second year. The competition was much better. The clubs also, the level of rugby, the exposure with the juniors coming in. Hopefully next year we can look at the juniors also in this. And then we can go, because rugby is not just here for the main club. We must go also in the communities. I mean, that is what Sibanye stands for also. So we need to bring that in. And with the sponsor of Sibanye, it will broaden the rugby and the club rugby. But look at the people here. There's more people here than it will be in the other Currie Cup competitions. I mean, so that support as well. The people are hungry for quality club rugby. And Naka taught us a lesson.
Unlucky, Coach Jewel, but brilliant performance in the semi-final. Wishing you all the best for future competitions.
No, we will. We'll work hard. Next year we'll be back. Thanks a lot.
100%. We'll see you next year. Thank you so much, Coach Jewel.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit more about the story behind the socks.
Yeah, well, my wife also didn't know about the socks. I mean, she saw me putting it on this morning. She said, "Yeah, what's happening there?" Like leerlik. But what it is what Oregon, where we're coming from, and the schools, the players were represented, the universities, all those in the communities. We try to say thank you. That is, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have been here. So that's why we're very proud of it. And we want to say thank you and pay respect. And like they said also with late Dr. Annie Craven, they thought when he passed away, rugby will be over. It's never over. There will always be somebody else. But our history, that's we want. We respect for that, and we want to take it out to the communities.
100%. Coach Jewel, thank you so much. What a beautiful message.
Thank you.
And thank you for a brilliant game in the semi-final.
Thank you.
Perfect.
And then a photo from also. That's how it ends right here at the Naka Bulls Rugby Club in Pretoria.
The semi-final between the Naka Bulls and the Sibanye-Stillwater Warriors, going all the way to the Naka Bulls. They were absolutely brilliant in the semi-final. 56 points on the board. The Warriors only being able to put 17 points on the scoreboard. You look at the momentum of this game. The Naka Bulls were in full control, showing class, showing pedigree, and showing why they are the big favorites to win this big competition. Special word of gratitude and congratulations to the Warriors. Brilliant, brilliant contest this afternoon. Of course, when you look at the full picture of the game, the 17 points on the scoreboard isn't the perfect picture. They had so many opportunities, however, not being able to convert and turn those opportunities into points. And when you play against a quality outfit like the Naka Bulls, they will most certainly make you pay at